Welcome back, guys, to the channel. This is me, Udik James Mokhtar, and Phil Serchan. After a long time, we haven't been recording since match week 10. So it's been quite some time, almost 2 months already. So yeah, it feels good to be back. How do you feel, Fido?
Yeah, it's been a long hiatus, but
Mm,
I was in Nepal and I was with you. Surprisingly,
yeah,
shockingly, we didn't actually record any of our predictions, even though we were together like 5 days out of the 7 days of the week. It feels like, but
yeah,
you were busy with other stuff. Didn't have time. But now we're
yeah,
back and back to the grind.
yeah. We were always outside. That's why we were never in a room, right? We hardly were in a
Exactly.
room to record. That's why the situation didn't think gel. So yes, now let's move on. Let's don't talk about the last match week's recap. We already know. Phil has already won it, so it's 10-0. So,
Going for
and
the
I and
Undertaker streak at WrestleMania, bro. Undertaker streak at WrestleMania.
21 and okay. This is match week 23, right?
Oh,
Match week
so we
23.
We can do 13 weeks. Well, 13 games, I guess. 13 match weeks.
12. Yeah, from because we did till match week 10, and then from 11 to 22, there was our break.
Wow.
So many things have changed, right? So many managerial changes, so many players. In the winter transfer window as well, we saw some new faces just last week. Felipe Coutinho, um, making a huge mark, scoring that last goal, and all these big changes. So now we just have to adjust with it, back again. Let's start with Chelsea versus Tottenham, the what do we call it, the London Derby. This is a huge game, and it's very huge for both teams because Tottenham, they're desperate to get back in their best form and to be back at the Champions League. That means at the top four. Whereas Chelsea, since the Man United game, Man United tie, they've been pretty much in a bad form. In 11 matches, they only won one. They mostly tied, and they even lost just last week to Man City, which was a crucial game. And now the title race is like, for me, I feel like it's over already. Because 13 points clear already, Man City. This is just a huge gap. So, well, we already saw Chelsea face Tottenham thrice this season, and Chelsea won all three of them. And this is their fourth meeting, which includes this is the second time they're meeting in the EPL. They already met twice in the EFL Cup semifinals as well, which in both Chelsea won. So yeah, I can see Tottenham and Chelsea having a very good fight. But since Thomas Tuchel's side is so hungry, and first of all, my biggest criticism is our striker Romelu Lukaku, who has not been delivering at all, and who's been pretty much of a big story in the media as well after that claim, that he said that he would like to go back to Inter and whatever, that pissed off a lot of fans, including me, which now, even though I don't forgive him 100%, but still, I hope that he realizes what he did, and now he has to give it back to the fans. Until and unless he doesn't score, until and unless he doesn't make an impact, it doesn't make sense, right? So I think Chelsea will win this one nothing, barely.
Yeah. So you dived right into the match of the week, really, I think.
Yeah,
It seems like the two biggest teams, well, out of all the matchups, I see this as a match of the weekend. The Spurs did the impossible last match. So, scoring two goals as late as they did, I think they had a
crazy.
probability of
Yeah,
0.1% of winning the match. And, Bergwijn came through, and so they're high on confidence. And also Chelsea coming off a draw with Brighton. They haven't been in the best of forms. Um, so I know that the Chelsea has won the last three matchups against Spurs, or the last two or whatever, but I think this is gonna be a different story. I don't think that the Spurs will win. But I think this is gonna be a 2-2 draw. Mostly also because Mendy's on AFCON, right? And you have Kepa playing. So I don't see a clean sheet here. And if you can't keep a clean sheet against someone like Brighton, then I'm not sure how you're going to keep it against Spurs. So yeah, like I said, it's gonna be a 2-2 draw, I think, and I'm gonna say someone like Lucas Moura and maybe Cesar Azpilicueta scoring here.
Okay. So Phil goes with the tie, whereas I go with a Chelsea win.
What was
It's
your final score?
what?
What was your final score?
1-0. So I'm
Who's
saying
scoring?
Kepa will have a clean sheet. Well, he hasn't been that bad, to be honest, but yes, of course, Mendy is still better. Yeah, for me, scoring, I would say someone like Kovacic might score a goal. You know, somebody
Last goal
there.
was great.
Yeah, or maybe
Yeah,
Jorginho will get a
let's see what he
penalty.
does this time.
Jorginho might get a penalty too.
As usual, he's like the Bruno of this year, right? The Bruno of this year. Everyone
Oh,
was criticizing Bruno last year for scoring all the penalties, and now there's not a single word for Jorginho. The bias in the media is crazy. Anyways,
well, talking about Bruno, let's move on to Bruno's team. Man United versus West Ham. Now, this is a vital game for both teams. West Ham, who has had an incredible season, something that we didn't saw it coming. They're in the top four, which is a huge thing. So West Ham wants to keep that position. They want to stay at the top. But in the meantime, Man United, a big historic club, doesn't like what they're doing right now. So far, seventh in the league is just an embarrassment. So these players, they want to change. A new manager, of course, Ralph Ragnick. He wants the club to evolve as well. So what are we seeing over here?
yeah, this will be a high scoring game. Manchester United never seem to keep a clean sheet.
It's true.
Even though De Gea plays so well, like our defense just lets them down every time. This is gonna be a back and forth match. As a football watcher, I would I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham actually won because
Mm-hmm.
they're really good. But as a Manchester United fan, I have to support my team, and I do think that somehow after winning against Brentford, I think they have a little bit of confidence here.
Mm,
I think they need to build this up for Champions League coming next month. So I think I will say for sure. I think, well, not for sure, but I'm pretty confident that Jared Bowen will score for West Ham because I feel like
yeah,
he always plays so well against
yeah,
United every time I watch. I think ultimately, when you have Cristiano Ronaldo in your team, you can't ever like underestimate them. So I think he'll score the game winner. This is
mm,
gonna be this is gonna be the game I think also that Manchester United will finally score from a corner. I think they're like 0 for 110 attempts or something so far, so it's really embarrassing. But I think this is the
yeah,
one where someone like see, no Lindelof, no Bailey, so maybe Phil Jones is going to be playing center back with Varane, or maybe Maguire if he's healthy. Anyways, maybe Maguire will get a header. I'm not sure, but I think Ronaldo will score the game winner, and I think this will be a 3-2 win for Manchester United.
Oh, okay. Pretty high scoring. Yes, I also have a similar take on it. United are finding it really hard to keep a clean sheet, even with De Gea being so good this season. Yes, I also think that United will come up with a victory over here because whenever you see Ronaldo frustrated, he always delivers in the next game. That has always been the cycle that we've been looking at for years. So sometimes Ronaldo getting frustrated is actually a good sign for his team, for the fans. So I think Ronaldo is gonna have a good game over here, and I'm seeing a 2-1 victory for Man United. And guess what? I can even see Ronaldo scoring both the goals for United.
Wow. So you said 2-1 win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to the next game, Everton versus Aston Villa. Now again, another goodbye to Rafael Benitez. I don't know whether this is the fourth or fifth goodbye. Um, at a terrible season. In I think the whole league, he only had 3 wins. It's already been 22 games, and he only had 3 wins. So that is really bad, especially for a club like Everton, who should actually be fighting for at least the top 8 spot. Um, with players like Richarlison, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I know they've been hit with injuries a lot this season, but still, this was pretty unexpected. They're fighting for relegation over here. They're fighting the relegation battle. So now talking about their opponent, Aston Villa, Philippe Coutinho and Lucas Digne, both debuting against Man United last week, had a fantastic performance. Digne had two chances, almost scored once, whereas Coutinho came in, scored, and tied the game, which was pretty frustrating for Fidel, right?
Of
um,
course.
and yes, so they're in a great form, and of course, their new manager. I don't think so. We've even talked about this. Steven Gerrard. He has been very positive for Aston Villa so far. Great performances, great playing. We talked about Buendia last time, right? Who was amazing in that game. So I can see Aston Villa winning this again, 3-1.
Wow, I actually have the exact same score as well. After watching Aston Villa for 2 games in 1 week, as a Manchester United fan, because we played them twice in a week, one in FA Cup, one in EPL. Yeah, I can speak as a United fan that I think Steven Gerrard is building something special there. Now you got Coutinho in the mix, and then you got Lucas Digne, who's playing against his old teams. This is a bit of a revenge game, maybe. That he has more motivation to play well, to show his old team why they shouldn't have sold him or whatever. Yeah, Everton are reeling. Obviously, had to fire Benitez. So I'm gonna go with a 3-1 victory as well. And I think Buendia and Watkins, Ollie Watkins will score. And my goodness, let me tell you, after watching the 2 games, that Buendia guy is special, man. That guy was a beast. Just always
Yeah,
nonstop, something always happening with his opportunities. It was crazy.
yeah.
Uh, but
And
yeah, 3-1 win as well.
yeah, look at them. They've got players like Leon Bailey, Ashley Young, and what was that guy? That Scottish guy, McGinn.
Uh, uh, oh, McGinn,
McGinn.
that's
They haven't even played, and they're still that good. So it
yeah,
looks
McGinn's good.
really positive for Aston Villa.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, moving on to the next game. Watford versus Norwich, battle of relegation. Both these teams are struggling, especially, but of course, we talked about Aston Villa just before. The Aston Villa coach, former coach, Dean Smith, is now Norwich's coach. It happened so fast. He had just left Aston Villa like a week before, and a week prior, is a Norwich manager. And he has been doing some surprises though, even though they're still fighting relegation. Win over Leeds. I think they just beat Southampton or somebody last week. Everton. They beat Everton, which obviously fired Rafa Benitez. So I can see Norwich winning another game over here, even though Watford, they're struggling. They're good sometimes. They're bad as well, but I think Norwich is going to surprise us once again and beat Watford 2-1. Another edgy victory for Norwich.
Yeah, this will be a low scoring, pretty dull game, I think, between two of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
But I think when you have someone like Ranieri coaching, and you're playing a bottom team, like I know they're both pretty bad, but if Ranieri is coaching a team and they're playing a really bad team, I just don't see them losing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with a 1-1 tie, and
Okay.
maybe someone like Joshua King scoring for Watford here.
Yeah. Brentford versus Wolves. Now, this is going to be a great game because these two teams, they play with really high intensity. We saw it, right? Just this past week, how good Brentford was, but still they lost. They lost 3-1. But of course, they played really well. They still have those little, of course, rookie mistakes. That's what I would say. Um, but yes, I expect this to be a really good game, and I can see neither side losing this game. So I would go with a tie, 1-1, and I can see someone like Ruben Neves scoring a goal.
Yeah, I have the exact same score here as well, 1-1. After watching these two teams play against my team the last two
Mm,
weeks, we played the Wolves and we lost. So they gained respect from me for sure. They gave Ralph the first loss of his career in Manchester United, and obviously Brentford. We just played them 3-4 days ago, and the first half was pretty impressive. Even
Yeah.
second half they dominated, but we ended up winning that. But regardless, yeah, these two teams have been playing really well recently. So I'm gonna go also with a 1-1 draw here.
And how was Thomas Frank's interview?
It didn't make much sense. I mean, I'm not sure why you had to point out Sancho when he's grieving at this time with the loss of family member. There's no reason to point him out. And also, if you notice, the 3 goal scorer for Manchester United, they cost $0. They're all academy players. So
Mm,
he wants to talk about the cost of the team. His player, actually, Ivan Toney, costs £10 million,
mm.
whereas Manchester United goal scorers combined cost $0. Right? Greenwood, Rashford, and who was the third player that
Elanga.
scored? Ilanga, all like
Mm,
academy players. We didn't buy them, right? They,
yeah,
they came from the system. So, anyways,
yeah.
I appreciate what he's Thomas Frank is trying to do, trying to rally his team up,
Mm.
but that didn't make much sense. But
Yeah,
anyways,
that reminded me a little bit about Mourinho.
uh, I mean, he has passion. I'll give him that.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
that just got newly promoted, I think they need a coach like that who can motivate
mm,
his team. So that's good.
yeah,
I respect him.
yeah. Next game is between Leeds and Newcastle, and now Newcastle, even though with their new owners, they're they're at probably at the relegation right now. They're like 18th or 19th position, right? So it is not looking good for them. And whereas Leeds, who beat West Ham, that's huge because West Ham has been the top 4 team in the league so far. Um, and Harrison has been probably playing the best
Patrick.
football he can, right? He's been so good. So yeah, I don't see Leeds losing this at all, and I don't see Newcastle winning either. That's why I would still go with Leeds winning this game 2-0.
Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna go for tie there because I have a tie here. Yeah, yeah, this game's gonna be exciting for sure. Highly contested. Yeah, like you said, Leeds just beat West Ham, so they have respect for me. But anytime you have a player like Alan and Maximin, you're never out of the game. And I know Newcastle are slowly starting to buy players with their ownership now in Saudi Arabia there, and
Mm,
I think they're gonna buy Diego Carlos soon from Sevilla, and they're in talks with Lingard. They've already got Trippier, so I mean, let's see what happens. But I think this is gonna be no one's gonna win this. I don't think. It's gonna be a 1-1 tie.
wow. Since you always went for the high scoring uh games for Leeds, I always remember that you would always predict 3-2 or 2-2
I
kind of
did. For
things.
2 weeks, I did that, and they never scored. So maybe this game they'll score 4 goals, and I'll look stupid. But
Mm,
I learned from the last times we've guessed, like they aren't as high scoring as I thought they were. Like last year
yeah.
with the coach, they were really like Bielsa. They really went for it.
Mm,
This year they're a bit off to me. Like they only scored like 1 or 2 goals. It feels like so. I'll keep my expectations low at this time, and I'm gonna say 1-1.
okay. Um, Next game is of course the leaders in the EPL right now, and probably the leaders. I'll say probably the champions of the English Premier League this time as well. That's Man City. Manchester City has been playing so well that they're 12 points above who's at the who's second place. That is Liverpool, which is huge. And now it almost looks like the battle for the title race is over. 12 points is a huge gap, which I don't think neither Liverpool nor Chelsea will 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 be able to do anything about it. Now they're facing Southampton over here, and again, so many things have changed, right? Southampton, they have new owners, right? Serbian owners. They also had new owners, just like Newcastle. So they're trying to do better. Of course, new ownership will bring some positive energy, and of course, they want to. They're hungry to do better, but they're facing someone like Man City, which for me is almost impossible. So I would still go with Man City winning this game 3-0 and Kevin De Bruyne scoring a goal again.
Yeah, I also have 2-0 for Man City as well. I wouldn't be surprised if this game was one of those. Every season there's a match where like, wow, how did they win? Like
Uh-huh.
Southampton could pull off an upset here. I feel like just Man City's on such a roll, and all of a sudden, what happened?
Mm,
And it's possible when they have someone like Ward-Prowse, but yeah, but I wish that happened, but unfortunately, Man City are playing so well.
mm,
Um, I think it's gonna be another breezy City win, 3-0 as well. I think Jesus, Sterling, and Grealish will score, and it's
mm.
gonna be easy win for Pep.
Okay. Arsenal versus Burnley, and for me, Burnley's. I think they're gonna get relegated this time. They've been struggling really, really badly, and I think they lost one of their key players as well, right, in the transfer market.
Yeah,
Their
Wood,
striker.
right?
Yeah, they lost Woods
Yeah,
to Newcastle or something. Yeah,
yeah.
which is a huge loss, because he was the only guy who scored the goals and who was actually really good for them. So yeah, looking at Burnley and then comparing it to Arsenal, someone who is above United, they're sixth place right now. Um, yeah, they're trying their best, of course. Even though they're not getting the results they actually want to, but sixth place is pretty good, and Arsenal will win this again, which I would say 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, I almost went for a tie here because I feel like Burnley sometimes can be pretty
Surprising.
stubborn, surprising and
Mm,
stubborn. But Arsenal are playing pretty well. I know they just lost to Liverpool yesterday in FA or whatever, FA Cup, but they're pretty good on. They've been in a good form in EPL and against bad teams too. So I'm gonna say they're gonna win 2-0,
mhm.
and someone like Martinelli to score a goal here.
Yeah, for me, I think Smith Rowe is has been really, really impressive throughout the season. Yeah, I just
Maybe
want to talk
Odegaard,
about him.
Odegaard might score too. He's been
Yeah,
scoring. It
yeah,
depends if Saka's playing, or I'm not sure if Saka's playing, but he might have an
mm,
assist if he plays. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Crystal Palace versus Liverpool, second place Liverpool, who they still look dominant even without Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane, who's right now playing at the AFCON. Um, I think Jota is gonna have a couple of goals over here. I would say Jota will score twice and will give Liverpool the victory 2-0. Jota to score both the goals.
Yeah. Another easy win for Jurgen and the boys. It's gonna be I think 4-0 Liverpool.
Mhm.
I think it'll be bigger. I think it'll be a more lopsided victory for Liverpool
Okay.
here. And Jota just scored what 2 goals yesterday against Arsenal.
Mm.
So I think he'll score for sure. And I think Minamino will also score in what will be a
I mean,
lopsided victory.
yeah, they're so good, right? Even without Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane, that's really, really impressive. I don't know. I think it's just the coaching system, how Jurgen
They have
Klopp
a good
has trained them.
they have a good team. Like they got Firmino, right? They still have what's it called? Trent Alexander-Arnold, Robertson. Like their defense is still
True,
intact. Their
true.
midfield is pretty much intact. It's just the strikers are always replaceable in Liverpool, at least when they're playing bad teams. Like
Mm,
and Mane will not be that much missed if when you have someone like Jota and Firmino playing. You
true.
know,
Yeah, yeah,
so it's still impressive for sure.
yeah. Because for me, it was like when I looked at them at the beginning of the season, and they weren't buying anyone, right? Liverpool
Mm.
hasn't been so active in the transfer market at all this season. So I was like, how are they gonna do this? Because everyone's buying players, they're making their team stronger, whereas they're remaining in the same position as they were last season. But I'm really, really impressed that even with that, even remaining in the same position, they're still so dominant. And yeah, of course, really good. The last game for this week, Leicester versus Brighton. Very unfortunate, Leicester City. They were already 2-1 up against Spurs, and Steven Bergwijn at the last minute of the game, scoring 2 goals in 2 minutes. That was very, very impressive, and giving Spurs the victory, which was, of course, an unfortunate loss for Leicester City. Talking about Leicester City, I would like to point out James Madison. I think he has been one of the best midfielders in England right now. You know, every time I watch him, always consistent, always great. I can see him scoring another goal over here, and Leicester winning this game 2-1.
Yeah, he has to be in the England's call up next time.
Exactly. Yep.
He has to. I mean, anyways, off topic, but yeah, I really like Madison too. The meltdown that they had with Leicester City, with Tottenham there, they're not exactly high on confidence. I feel like I'm gonna go with an upset here. I think Brighton are pretty good. Like they just drew Chelsea 1-1,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like
true.
a
True.
couple days ago. So I don't think they'll quite beat Leicester, but I think it'll be a draw, and I think it's gonna be a 1-1 draw. With Datsun, maybe Datsun Daka scoring for
That's on
Leicester.
Daka.
Daka, sorry, yeah,
That's on
Patson
Daka.
Daka.
Mhm.
Got it mixed up.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe he'll score. Yeah, because Ian Nacho's on in the AFCON. So yeah, I think that'll happen. I think it's gonna be a 1-1 draw.
Okay. Fair enough.
I, there's still two more matches, no? Because I think Burnley, Watford, Newcastle, Everton are considered in this match week as well.
Yeah, I already said it. Everton, Aston Villa, Watford, Norwich, Brentford,
No,
Wolves,
no, but
Southampton,
there's
Man City.
but if you look at the EPL app,
Mhm.
Burnley versus Watford and Newcastle versus Everton are also considered in this match week.
Oh, I think those are the games that were postponed. And then,
But they're playing Sunday and Wednesday, and they're considered in the same match week. So I don't know if you want to count that as games or not, to predict or not.
mm,
They're considered match week 23, so I don't know. Anyways, if you look at the app, like, yeah, they're the postponed ones, but they're playing Saturday, and like it's crazy because they just play Friday. Like Watford plays Friday and then they play Saturday. It's crazy. Or they play next week, but anyways, it's considered 23 for whatever reason. But we don't have to predict those if they're not really considered. But
yeah.
list that. So
Yeah, let's don't do that
okay.
because those were like the rescheduled fixtures. Yeah, we'll go with the normal 10 games for one match week. Yeah, okay. So yeah, lock of the week. What do you pick as the lock of the week?
Lock of the week. Let me see here. Lock of the week. I will go with. I'll go with the match of the week. Chelsea Spurs.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be a 2-2 draw.
Okay, I would go with Brentford versus Wolves 1-1 draw.
Did you say Chelsea was gonna win this match?
Yeah, 1-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd go with the Brentford versus Wolves 1-1 draw. Yeah. So there we have it, guys. We've picked the lock of the week too. We've already predicted it, the whole match week. That is match week 23 after a long break hiatus. Now we hope that this will not happen again. We don't want to take breaks anymore. We will try to be consistent now. So yeah, this was it for today. Keep liking, keep subscribing, and keep sharing this channel to everyone. Thank you.
Maybe this is the Udek's turn. His luck maybe changes starting this week. He might win a
Maybe.
game. Who knows? Let's see.
I had a good 2 months rest
Yeah.
of losing.
Yeah.
That's why.
Too much to think about it, right?
Yeah.
All the losses. So, all right.
Okay. See you guys. Peace.